Our actions communicate far more clearly, far more efficiently, and far more effectively than anything or any words ever will. I'm a brand new platoon commander, and I've been tasked with preparing my Marines to go to combat for the very first time. But I've got a problem, and I'm about to learn how my actions communicate consistency, accountability, and how those actions ultimately lead to sustainability. So we train and we train and we train. Week 1 comes up, everybody goes on liberty, and 8 o'clock on Sunday night, everybody's back. Week 2, the same thing. Week 3, the same thing. And my fellow platoon commanders and I are high-fiving. Our great leadership, our Marines are following everything we've asked them to do, and oh my goodness. And of course, week 4 comes around, and guess what? We're missing a couple of people. So 8 o'clock on Sunday night at our base camp, we're having a formation, which means we're just generally grouped together. And we're counting noses, and we realize that these 2 guys are missing. And just as we realize that they're missing, we look down the hill, and it's a long stretch to where the gate is to come into our base camp. And as we look down there, it looks like there are 2 Olympians sprinting up the hill. I mean, you could see a blue flame coming out from behind these guys. They are moving. And as they get closer and closer and closer, I realize those are our guys. A pretty good thing. Except one problem. One of those guys was my platoon sergeant. So that's my question. He shows up late. What do you do at this point? To my fellow platoon commanders and I told the Marines, if you're late, you're not getting any more liberty for the rest of the time we're here, period. So for the next 9 weeks, he basically was restricted to the base while everybody else left. It was awkward, it was uncomfortable, and having to have that conversation with the guy who was really helping me, and my success really rested in his hands, quite frankly, was very difficult. And it did impact our relationship. But what do you think it did to the rest of the unit? We already had a pretty close-knit unit, but it was crazy. That close-knit unit became even closer. That good unit became even better. And I didn't realize that. I wish I had done it with that in mind. But I learned a lesson. I learned that I had to be consistent. And being consistent, my Marines knew where they stood, and they knew that I would be true to my word. They also knew if I was going to hold my platoon sergeant accountable, I would certainly hold them accountable, and perhaps even more importantly, I had to hold myself accountable. And I learned that consistency and accountability led to sustainability. That unit, if I had done something different or given him a free pass, I'm not so sure our unit would have fractured. We wouldn't have been as tight. We would not have been as coherent and together as we were. That would not happen without consistency and accountability. We would not have that sustainability that we still have today.